Okay, I can't let another MOTU Monday or a MOTUesday go by without opening some more of these figures. I am so far behind. There's so many that I want to open. I was gonna pull out the boxes and do a collection video again of what I have left to open. There's just so much. The ones that I can't stop thinking about is the Casey Jones figure from the Turtles mashup. It looks so good. We're getting Thundercats soon, so I mean they're going to be coming in, and then I'm going to be really far behind. I've got WWE ones, which I just discovered on the Mattel Creations website that there is a distribution that, being in Canada, I'm really close to the border and everything. All I would have to do is go across the border, but I don't. It's it's trouble. I'd have to ride my bicycle across the border, so it hasn't been happening. Also, is it financially? I mean, it takes up a whole day to get over there and back again, and so why am I not doing that? It's far enough away that it's financially troublesome. So there's not, but it's cheaper. So I just discovered on the Mattel Creations that you can get the WWE figures from a UK distributor. So and they do ship, and I just saw all these figures. I don't know if this is a new thing or it's. I hope I haven't been missing out the whole time. That would have been such an easier option for me. I do mostly get those at toy shows because every once in a while they show up at Walmart in Canada, but it hasn't been consistent, and it's far and few in between. And I don't think that they're doing it anymore, even though you just never know because it's sporadic. There's one figure that's new on the Walmart website right now, but you don't see them in stores, I guess, unless they're a return. And then there's snakes left over. There are I got the special Target exclusives that again I had to get at toy shows or have rely on the great gracious viewers of mine to pick them up for me from Target or from I don't it's because some of them are so hard to get. This line shouldn't be so hard to get. I would have gotten, I guess I saved a lot of money. I would have gotten 2 of each, 3 of each maybe if these had been readily available at retail. They started out in Canada. You could buy them at Walmart and they were only $15 each. That was amazing. Now they're like $50 each Canadian, which is maybe more. I forget what the last one cost, but I just bought the Fright Zone. That cost, that was a weird discrepancy too, because at checkout it said it only cost $165, but then they sent me the bill at the end and it was over $200. So I don't know what's going on there. I did write them and say, look, this is what was quoted, and then you charged me $80 shipping. What is up? What is going on there? So I don't know if they're going to fix that or that was an error or what's happening there, but I had to get my Fright Zone. I just vacuumed my Snake Mountain, which has been accumulating way too much dust. You have to keep it open though because of the way that it's. I don't know. I want to open these. Okay, what else haven't I opened? WWE. There's some Snake Men left over. There's that whole snake. Yeah, there's lots of snake. There's a Snake Men faction that has to be taken care of. Again, the Ninja Turtles. The other Ninja Turtles that I'm really excited about opening. I haven't opened up a lot of those waves. There's a lot of those waves, but I am waiting on a translucent merman, and Mossman. I was so excited for him when he was announced in the beginning as being this translucent figure. He looked so cool. So I will be opening those two together. I think that'll be the translucent 2 figures, opening them together, Merman and Mossman. They look so good. I love translucent figures, so I'm super excited to open those, but I'm still waiting for those. I still have to get Krang. That's the only one I'm missing. Big Bad Toy Store has some stuff in my pile of loot, 2 of the last deluxe Ninja Turtle figures. So there's a lot of Ninja Turtles, and I can't believe that. And I'm already watching people open up their Thundercats ones, and they look really, really good. I'm really curious to see the different body types. Is what I'm noticing from what I've been seeing people open. They're all thinner appendages, wider appendages, depending on who the figure is. So that's an interesting development in those. Okay, what else? I'm trying to see in my head what else I have to open. Yeah, I can't do it. But I have 5 different boxes of different factions that I have to open. So I definitely didn't cover all of them. There's one that I'm forgetting. Oh, the cartoon collection, and then there's the regular Origins collection, which we're focusing on today. So maybe I just named them all off. So 2 very important figures, Rio Blast and Extendar. I believe that they were in wave 5, which would have been my last wave that I got as a child, or was I a grown up then? No, I was still a child. And when I was too old for toys, what was wrong with me? I don't know what was wrong with me. I did keep all of the Masters of the Universe figures, though. I sold all my play sets, so I'm happy to get the play sets back. I didn't buy Eternia because that was way too much money. How I'm seeing it as I'm investing in somebody else buying it and storing it for me while I pull my life together and get a giant place where I can hold all of these play sets. So one day, hopefully, I'll be in the financial and physical space where I can have something of that magnitude. Okay, so yeah, these guys. So Wave 6 is probably my favorite, most coveted. So every time they release Wave 6 figures, I get really excited. We're still waiting for Blast Attack. I really want him. I don't know why they're not making him. Well, I do know because he's such a weird made figure. These two, Extendor and Rio Blast, I remember them the most vividly. This wave was a really cool. Wave 5 was really cool, and also I do like to talk about this a lot. People like to put, I don't know what happened, sometimes back in the forums days, somebody ended up, back in the beginning of the internet, somebody put Mosquitor in the wrong wave. They said he was wave 5, and then from there on, everybody has always counted him as wave 5. It's one of my pet peeves that drives me crazy because I know I had him, and also all you have to do is look at his card back. It's all wave 5 figures. There's no on the wave 6 they put him on the card as a cross sell, but on the back of his card he's completely a wave 5 figure. I know that he came out with those figures. I don't understand why he got mixed up. There's no there's no explanation for it other than people misremembered wrong or something or other. But that's cool. And anyway, he does not belong in wave 6. He is from this wave. Hopefully I'm not mixing up this wave. I think that this is the last wave I got. Anyway, that wave was really cool because they went off on their own. As much as wave 6 I think is incredible because it was the return of, because this wave did so badly, not because no, this is a podcast. We're having a MOTUesday podcast. I'm just talking about this stuff. Not because these were bad figures. This wave, they started doing more and more unique tools and stuff. So the characters are all have their own bodies and individual because they had the finances from the year before, which was its best year. But then they hit this year. But it was my generation. The kids grew up. We didn't want toys anymore. We were almost in high school. We were junior high school by that year. So it was like it plummeted. The sales went down, and it was sad. And I don't blame the movie, which a lot of people like to blame the movie. A lot of people like to blame She-Ra. I think it was just that generation, the first generation, the 1981, the age demographic of 1981, or 1982, when they actually hit the stores. But if you were a kid that was interested in 1982 in Masters of the Universe action figures, by the time Wave 6 came around, or wave 5 came around, you were done. I mean, I probably hung on longer than some of the other kids, which is why I had this wave and didn't have wave 6. So anyway, when they lost all that money, wave 6, they started using the retools. So it was kind of an homage to the very beginning first wave. So I kind of like that. They even reissued their first figure which was, what's his name, Faker, which is like, I mean, that is the total cop out because he's just He-Man and Skeletor mixed together. But so cool. It was all about the color combinations, and I really do regret not getting that wave, and probably the original Eternia, which I think even in the 80s it was priced at $100. So I remember seeing it on the toy shelves at Zellers. If you're Canadian, that's where I bought most of my figures, and I was like, what is that? And I remember seeing 2000 or the new generation figures on the shelves too, and they were like, what the hell is that? That doesn't look like Masters. They were 3 3/4 inch figures. It was like, what's going on here? That's not Masters of the Universe. I didn't know about the cartoon or anything. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the cartoon, which brings me to the other opening we're opening today. We're going to open up this guy, which this baffles me is what is going on, because we got this cartoon figure, but not in cartoon form. We got him with the regular Origins line. How are they going to do this? How are they going to go forward? How are they going to continue on with this? And then let's full circle it back to how I kind of started this conversation is in Canada, I miss so badly going into the store. Like, even I miss so bad from the 80s going into the store and discovering new figures, but I miss going into the store and finding these figures again. I can't, like, finding the waves of 4. There used to be 4 new figures. They came out in a wave, and then it was just fun. I mean, it was a hunt, and it was hard, and it was also frustrating because they weren't available. But I thought these 3, the reason I chose these 3 is because these are the last 2 regular original Origins that I don't have to open. So I need to open these ones. These are probably the most important figures put out. And then there's this guy who has the slide out card. So all of these, I think, are the last ones from the regular Origins line with slide out cards. But I am confused. I think we did see him in cartoon form, if I'm not mistaken. Was there leaked of him coming? Like this exact figure? He already looks cartoon formed because when they designed him. There's something dirty about him, though. There's something regular. It's like a dirty red. Like, so he does kind of look more Origins than... Anyway, let's get these out. This is so great that I don't have to deal with scissors. Okay, so me saying that I miss going into the store and buying those $14 figures is one thing, but check this out, where this is the easiest opening ever. I could have been doing this while I was doing them, and I love having these cards. This one came mangled. It was all dented. The card was out when I got it in the mail from probably Big Bad Toy Store. This was folded over the card and it wasn't pushed down all the way, so that's kind of sad. But I mean, at this point, not all of my cards are in pristine good condition. There is the art back. I'm sure you've seen lots of people do reviews on these because it's taking me, I'm so far behind, but I like the art. This actually looks like one of the vintage pictures that have been recreated, putting this guy in here. Mohawk, gray beard, kind of looks like he's in some kind of parade celebrating with that mustache and mohawk. I like the lack of paint. It is a favorite thing of me with Masters of the Universe. I like the less deco, the better. However, they do have some, these are kind of even more dirty red. They look kind of washed, but I think they're just molded in different browner plastics just to give them some kind of contrast, but it's okay. Oh, I'm seeing that he's coming with all kinds of weapons. They sure like to use this Ram Man axe so much. Oh man, he comes with so much weapons. I didn't expect that. That's kind of why the Casey Jones figure I find is so cool. Right, so that's quick. Do I have any? I was thinking I didn't need scissors, but we still have some tie-ins. Let me take that out. And then, oh man, these many weapons. This is amazing. And it's also scratching that unpainted accessory itch that's why I love Masters of the Universe. and why many people don't like Masters of the Universe is because of the unpainted details. But I like a toy looking like a toy, pops of bright color. That is the Masters of the Universe that I love. Let's get that out of the way. We're not going to save this. I never know how to save the bubbles or card. I got to save these ones. I don't know. I don't know how that happens. I think one day, this is an aspirational thought. One day I think I would make, like, I would get, I don't know, either somebody to do it themselves, or depending on how much time I have, to take the cards I have, fix up all of the, scan them, and take out all of the blemishes from when the bubbles were removed, or I don't know, use acetone to take the plastic that's left on the bubbles that I cut off, and then put them back in their cards, get new ones like this, or make my own card back, like just a generic card back, print them all out, and then that way I could put them on the wall, every single figure on the wall, and slide their cards in and out of them. So that's I don't know if that'll ever take place, but that is something that I consider doing. Let's take out this guy here. I thought this would be a fast video, but you know, you get me going. We got Extendar here, Heroic Master of Extension. I think I started to say that the cartoon isn't my favorite part of Masters of the Universe. I liked the first wave because they were so barbaric and cool. This is Geldor, Evil Seeker of Immortality? What? Is that Evil Seeker of Immortality? I guess he's after an artifact. I guess probably that's what's happening. One crazy thing about Canada, another crazy thing, is that they only played wave 1 of the cartoon series. So when they added all of the other characters for the toys to sell as a giant commercial, I never saw those episodes. And I first discovered also, it wasn't airing yet, I discovered it on Laserdisc, which I've talked about in these videos before. That was the first time I heard about I went to the Laserdisc movie rental store where we rented all kinds of cool, you can imagine the cool 80s movies that we used to rent from the Laserdisc store when you rented your Laserdisc player. And then I saw there was a Masters of the Universe cartoon, and I was kind of disappointed because of Orko and his comic relief. It was ridiculous. This is the comic book. I kind of don't like these comic books because when I put them in my binders, I only have one representation, but I should actually be very happy about these because they're individual stories. However, I hope we get another, what is that, dark horse, black horse, whatever horse that has the Masters of the Universe book rights. I hope we get they put all those comic books together in a book like they did for the vintage ones eventually one day. So I was kind of disappointed at the cartoon. I thought it was way too childish for the dark imagery of the toys I was collecting. But, you know, I learned to like it, and She-Ra was, by the time they started making that cartoon, that one was actually a lot better. The stories and the scenario of the rebellion was so much more interesting to me. And the crossovers. Man, the crossovers were cool. Lukey lends a hand. Gotta be the best episode. Oh, I missed these. It's been a while since I saw these plates. I forget how they were inserted into the bubbles. They're very thick plastic. Yeah, I forget the last time I saw one of these. So it's interesting to see these Extendor pieces, which we got the regular hand clip, I think it is. And then the shield was always really, really cool. Did they incorporate mechanical hinges? No. Something that I detest in a toy is non-mechanical hinges. So, you know, see the stress marks where they mold this all together and you just bend it? Oh yeah, I'll do it once, okay? So you can open this up into a giant triangle, and then, am I going to open it up all the way? They would have made it like, I don't know how they would have made it. I don't know how it would have came out of the press. Would it have been flat? Would it have been, I have no idea. That would be the state that I want to keep in. But it is a cool looking shield. They really should have worked in actual hinges. Look, they have places where this could have been a real hinge there. That's sad that they didn't do that, because that is I hate a non-mechanical toy hinge. Because look, you bend that back and forth, that is going to snap off. That's disappointing. He's feeling way heavier. He was such a super hollow figure because he had to stuff this thing slid right into his arm in the original figure, which I should probably get. I should probably do comparisons when this, I mean, you can go to Pixel Dan if you want. Comparison time. That is what he does. Maybe one day I will like review the collection and take a look at things that way. But I mean, there's only so much I can fit in a video, especially when I don't edit it. So I'm enjoying the articulation here. This is so weird because it feels, this is like a hollow, hard, weird plastic that we're not, these are usually rubber appendages, and this part is rubber and this part is all rubbery, but these are roto, I guess they're not roto, but they're hard, I don't know. It's harder plastic, and it's not usually what we have, especially where there's a joint. So I'm assuming inside here they've attached some kind of rubber joint there. I mean, what part comes off? He still comes off normally, these arms do. You always got to be careful not to break stuff. Do I like him in extended form? I guess so. It seems like I showed you this part already. They kept his original body feature, which I find is really interesting, but the legs you have to actually snap off at the boot, which is normal, and then incorporate the two little extension pieces. And I am curious about this. What was I was watching, oh yeah, the Lion-O and the Thundercats, their feet come off. And I'm curious, I didn't see anybody do this, so I'll be checking for sure in the next video if it is in fact the same peg as the wrist that they use. It's probably not. It's probably more like this mushroom than this one, which they are two different sizes, which they probably shouldn't do that. And Modulok, really disappointed in him and how they we already got this mix and match feature going, and Modulok turned out really awkward, and I'm not really happy with his construction when they could have done something as simple as this. Maybe with the cartoon version of Modulok, which Amazon called the regular Origins, they called him the cartoon collection one, but he isn't. That one that I opened for sure is not. Hopefully that the new one that we get makes up for it, the cartoon Modulok, which they have to make. Hopefully he's just based on the regular Origins mix and match features, and it doesn't go, you know, it doesn't try to recreate the Modulok. The regular Modulok was amazing. All of the pieces fit together. Every piece had the same peg. You didn't have to worry about putting in adapters or stuff. So yeah, I wish maybe when they thought about making these that they did do something like this to make it more Mr. Potato Head, where you could mix and match the pieces with every single option. So that means that his waist comes off here. I'm assuming I should have looked at his schematic drawing, which I'm always a big fan of. Oh, and the turtles. No, not the turtles. Hopefully I haven't been saying turtles the whole time. I've been meaning to say Thundercats. But the Thundercats ones, they have, where was I going with this? Oh, their new schematic drawings are more detailed. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I can't wait to see those, but I do like to collect those little pieces of paper, which you might not even know what I'm talking about. And they might not even have them in here, which I find that, what? Where's my schematic instructions to tell me which pieces, especially with this guy? How could he not? How could he not come with instructions on that he separates and you have to incorporate those pieces? That is really weird, actually. That is very, very bizarre. Normally on a boxed figure, you can pull that out. I'm actually very surprised that he did not turn out as a... I can't believe I'm doing his review first. I didn't even know that this was happening. We've done the whole review of Extendar. I like his hands, which they made them different because he was, like I started saying at the beginning of this video, or not the beginning of these reviews, that they used different molds. They tooled brand new, totally, each figure got its own tooling. There was no mix and match of parts. And so this is a good example of that happening here, where this is all very unique, thicker hands, because he was all blocky and stuff, so that he could be put into himself. And some, oh my goodness, I didn't, they kept the neck feature and I didn't even show that, which is crazy. And look, the peace sign I always thought was totally out of place, but it is good that they put it back, because where we got these earthly symbols where they don't make sense. But I am a fan of robots, and I am a fan of androids, or what's the name for robots that are actually people? Like, those are my favorite. That's what I want. 1/6 scale. I want the return of 1970s android, robot, human, space people so much. I hope that happens sometime. I don't know why they're not making 1/6 scale stuff. A 1/6 scale Masters of the Universe line would be incredible. I'm not talking Mondo. I'm talking like playable like this. It would be so cool. And I'm thinking that there's a potential for that when they make the Giants. Will the Giants be 1/6 scale Masters of the Universe figures, or will they make them something like this, where they're not totally giant, but they're giant? I will be keeping Extendor in this form. I wanted to see how his head came off. Yet a different peg. This is a ball joint head. But again, they made him bizarre and different, from a standout figure from all the rest again, because despite him not, his legs and appendages not folding into himself for these two pieces into his arms to be able to keep the articulated knees, they made him bulky, but they made him all hard, shelly plastic instead, and including his head. It's not like a regular rubber head. So he's interesting. He's different, and I like that. And mixed feelings about them mixing worldly entities with Masters of the Universe, but at the same time of it being ridiculous that knights are from Earth. The fact that they did that, and they had skunk people and bee people and the kitchen sink property, that's what we've always referred to it as. It's everything. So it's that's what kind of makes Masters of the Universe so cool. And I mean, in recent years, with the bringing of the Turtles and with Thundercats and WWE and hopefully more properties, hopefully Forza T. Okay, let's move on from him, and I am getting to Geldor eventually. Let's see how I can stick this shield in. Does your shield go in your left hand or your right hand? And the shield is really spacey and cool, and it is too bad that they didn't give it hinges. So I will never, and even as a kid, I realized that I didn't go against the stress. I kept my shield in one position because I wasn't wearing that out. I didn't want one of the wings to snap off, but it looks really, really cool. And also, I never really did understand well, you know what, I think I did. They were just trying to maximize, they were trying to make a shield that turned into a bigger shield, and that was the best concept they could come up with. But why a triangle from a square? Could have had two panels that came out that way. Yeah, it was kind of a weird shape, and it's like, what is that thing? Okay, enough about him. Look at this unboxing. Look how easy that is. Does he come with a schematic drawing? Maybe this was just a fluke. He is 2025, which I'm noticing on my card, and the rest of these were 2024, new for 2024, so much farther behind on those. But why don't I have a... Maybe mine was a fluke. Like, of all the people, the one guy who collects these things religiously didn't get a schematic drawing. Let me know if your Extendor did not get. I mean, I don't even call it the right thing. Maybe that's why I'm getting paid. I'm getting persecuted because I call it. This looks like the one that comes with the Thundercats. It's different. It's more advanced. Look at the instructions. I guess they thought that Rio Blast needed more instructions. And I was saying that he's not, I'm surprised he's not a deluxe figure at today's practices. And kind of the same would be with Rio Blast. I forgot, he's got this whole gun thing. And again, he is one of those characters from an earthly kind of thing. So that's why this was a crazy cool wave. Look at this. I like the tubes aren't just sculpted on his arms anymore. They're actually attached. That looks so cool. Oh yeah, I just got the nostalgic feel. It was like I got brought back there for a second. Don't you love when that happens? It was like take me right back to those weird feelings of excitement and of mystery. And so here's the art on here. They've got him fighting the Horde. Very cool, because that's who I've been talking a lot about and had just bought the Fright Zone today. And then, oh look at this modulock that you can't really make two figures that look good. Yeah, he's looking so good. His head is so similar. That is what's so good about these, which was really captured more so than the Super 7 was doing. Like it feels like you look at them and you see it and it identifies even more as the original thing. But when you hold it in your hand a little bit more and you play with the features and see how much better it is, like look at this. So not painted, not sculpted as one piece of plastic. We got the pops of color, all of these things sculpted individually and then put together. We got the red guns coming out of there, and it's, yes, oh, that's so cool. And then we've got the electronics inside his hollowed out legs. Again, he's kind of a robot and kind of a, what's the name for that? Anthropomorphic? No, that's something else. When you're a, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't have all of my. I didn't spend enough time watching Next Generation like most people. So but he's a cyborg. Is that what I'm trying to say? These guys are all cyborgs. They're part. Oh no, maybe that's not even the right thing. Anyway, they're half robot, half man. This is crazy because he's got all of the features. They gave him his gimmicks, and they did it better. Like I said, this used to be sculpted onto his arms. This gave them the ability to keep his arms, add a bonus feature, which you saw that they don't exactly stay in perfectly, but I mean, it's good enough. They do fall out. But they gave him regular arms, which is something I love. They gave him extra features and extra pieces of plastic that aren't painted, but just pop because they're not painted, and they're tubes, and they're cool, and they're, yeah, that's so incredible. This is a win-win situation. I believe the gloves are new, and oh, look at the robot details on the circuitry, the wires. So cool. Masters of the Universe mix of space and barbarian and monster. Incredible. I love it. That's why I always say Zodak, my favorite character, because the Zodak has all of those things incorporated into himself. Okay. All right. He's got the cowboy boots on. They look a little thin and dinky and tiny. They should be a little more buxom. But this calf thing, from his spats or his spurs or his whatever the cowboy lingo is, this is really chunky calf here, making kind of want the boot to be bigger. The boot's looking okay though. It's in brown. We got the earthly guy, and then this is the kind of thing I could just take this figure and look at it forever and find more details on it and loving it, and so cool. And just look at that head, which is, it brings, oh man, it does suck that these don't fit on properly, I have to say that. Brings back Big Jim feelings. Maybe they have them on backwards. Maybe they've got the wrong tubes. The children who assembled these, no, there is a right and a wrong way. You got to put that there's a fatter peg and a thinner peg. But I mean I could glue them. That's an option to make them stay in there, but it's great to have the option where you could pull them out if you wanted to. This works pretty good. Seems a little bit loose. This could be tighter for the pistols that come out of the hands, which was such a great little ingenious feature that they gave it. Like, instead of having, like, you know, your guns coming out of your belt, like whatever they call that draw, they could the fact that they came out of your wrists, that's even cooler, that you don't have to even reach down and your pistols are there. That was ingenious. And of course they made the more spacey lasers, so he's a space cowboy. Where did we hear about space cowboys before? We know, super nerds know the ultimate space cowboy, which was what Masters of the Universe was competing with. But until they came up with this, look, clipped in his chin, very, very big Jim, which Masters of the Universe is highly drawn on. And this was many years later, or not many years, it didn't take very long for this line to go. But yeah, I really appreciate the 70s influence there, and it does make me think of how awesome Big Jim was. And then let's put on this last part, which is, they've done it in metallic-y silver. This is so much more my jam than the vac metal. I'm not a fan of vac metal because of the chipping and the delicacy of the plastic that they have to put the vac metal on. So I do prefer when they do pearlized metal. So that I'm very happy about. And then it is the same feature as it was originally. It looks so good. I mean, this is also very Big Jimmy to put on the Big Jimmy. That'll be a new phrase that it's a Jasonism that is now going to be used all the time. Big Jimmy. The goggles is so cool. It's so Big Jim Max Steel awesomeness, and then all of the details that are added to this, and then just this simple design of this being loose and be able to up and around, and the notches fitting into the top so it stays into place. Like, just great, awesome design. Mattel is so good at reusing their concepts that work out really well too, and I'm glad they did that here, because this is ingenious. Rio Blast is not a fan favorite of people. I think that it was too late in the line. Like I said, this might be this is where they jumped the shark. I can't believe I haven't used that term yet. Wave 5 definitely jumped the shark, but they are some of my fondest memories, because it was where they were pushing the boundaries, and it was the big last hurrah, which that's what jumping the shark is, isn't it? So there we go. This red, I haven't talked about this giant red cannon that's in his chest there. Just the fact that he can have this giant void in his chest, that he's that much of a robot and that much of a man at the same time. The muscles, the robot, the cowboy, like, come on, he's an icon. This is so good. This really should have been like I should have did these last month, because this could definitely be the Village people going on. And then that brings me to, what is this guy? So this guy really standing out as, I don't know what it is about him. He's these ones really are toyetic because of the bright pops of color and everything. And I should like this guy because so what happened in the original line and in Masters of the Universe Origins took it that much further, was eventually, you know, we got further and further away from the 70s. So the colors changed and things became brighter and brighter. And that's something that I am noticing with the Origins, is that we don't have that dirty, dingy colors with weird color combinations that we got originally with Masters of the Universe. And they kind of brightened everything up. But I'm loving it. I like Origins better than I like my original Masters of the Universe figures, because of the added articulation, because of the color combinations are the same, but they're for today. The same color combinations, but brightened up for today. Even though, as much as I love dingy, I mean, that's That is my thing in real life, in toys, and I mean maybe not in toys, maybe that's the problem. But no, the original Masters of the Universe, super dingy toys. But I don't know, there's something about this guy, is maybe his face is too realistic. Maybe that's what's going on here. He's too McFarlane, he's too Spawn. Is there a wash? Is there there's not a wash though. They did them really good. Maybe I'm not looking at it in the light clearly. And usually figures that mean nothing to me I like even more, which isn't normally the case with fandom. But for me, yeah, I love expanding the universe and getting more characters. What was that? Oh, the Sunman. I didn't mention Sunman today, but I loved getting Sunman and adding that to the collection and having even more characters in the universe. And that is what I miss about going into the store and finding the four new figures, and some were from, like, one was from a different faction or something, and I thought that was so cool. But alas, okay, here we are. So I don't know. I should really like this guy. It might be the contrast, but again, this is something that original Masters of the Universe did. Contrasting colors that should not go together, like the brown and the red, so it's so close that it looks like it's a mistake, but at the same time it's not, because it's repeated in the loincloth. Like, he really does look like he could be Tila's Snake Tila, like the original Tila. This is her colors. Tila's daddy or something, because they're wearing the same colors. But his face looks strange. I don't have any tie to the cartoon or anything, but I do like his basic buck. Very interesting shoes. Please let me know in the comments below if is this used on anybody? Is this holster used on anybody? This looks like cartoon Skeletor's loincloth. Am I right on that? Should I have all of my figures? There's so many Origins figures though right now for me to keep track of that stuff. This guy is so simple to strip down doing that, which we do have to do. Oh, that's something that I didn't notice on Rio Blast and him. So I guess in the vein of them using new sculpts for the figures, this is a reflection of that though, because his chest plate is it had to be done separately. This is a new total. There's so much new tooling for him, and there's so much new tooling for him. So they are individually. I'm noticing that with the Turtles, and definitely into the Thundercats and all of the newer Origins figures, that they're, especially with the She-Ra too, the She-Ra figures, all of their like ornate extra pieces of clothing and stuff that would normally be molded on is removable, and they have the same buck underneath. I really like that. I like that so much. It just gives the capabilities of mixing and matching, even though I would never do that. But I do have to know this has to be reused somewhere before this. It's such a standard cuff. I can't think of where. Maybe Sunman, maybe that's where I'm coming from. But this can't be. This has to be cartoon Skeletor's loincloth. If you know, let me know. I love this color though. Okay, so if I strip him down and look at him like this, I mean, this loincloth piece, that is major nostalgia for me. So that's like a dingy brown, like that is so dirty, cool 70s awesomeness. So I really like that. And then I do like mixing these colors together. It does remind me of 70s toys that Masters of the Universe was based on. But I don't know, I guess it's his face. I guess I just don't like his funny face. And he doesn't look like a cartoon. Of all the people who should be more cartoony and toyetic, like I like, should be him. Have they used this? Very samurai, very Asian inspired. I don't think it would be Jitsu or anything. So wait, these are painted then, because those aren't oh yeah, it's painted. Maybe that's my problem with it. Wait, is it painted or is it glued on? They've painted these straps. I think I picked up on that. It's not perfect, especially on the inside. It's kind of weird. Maybe that's what I'm picking up on. Why it's not. Anyway, it's a really cool harness. I like the rubbery plastic it's made out of. I like a mohawk. I like weird, like he looks like he's from He looks like he walked out of, is that Mel Gibson movie they remade? I'm gonna say recently, but it probably wasn't recently. It wasn't. It was early '80s. Thunder, not Mad Max. He looks like he's from Mad Max, which is another reason for me to love this guy. He is pretty cool. So what am I talking about? Do you know how we can make him so much cooler? I don't know what the story is behind him being many weapons. They gave him the 2 closed fists, and they gave him this thing. Why does everybody get this thing? It's not even. At least they gave them together, where you could put them together. When they give you one or the other, and it feels like something's missing because of the weird handle on it. I mean, it's a pretty weird weapon. Is it that? I mean, we must have gotten a better, more versatile axe than this one, but I guess that's the reason, because they are just axes. But I don't know what is up with everybody getting this. I mean, it's a chunky weapon that's right up my alley, but there's something disproportionate. They're so square. I should like them, but I mean, maybe it's because I've seen them so much. And you kind of can tell that this one is part of a gimmick, I guess. And then I guess this is his. This must be his. I am really interesting. I'm gonna love the cartoon version of him, because it's gonna pop art him, and it's gonna make him so much better. But yeah, I can get behind it. I can get behind him. And then he's got this shield, which is, I don't know. I can't. Is it a He-Man WWE shield? Is that how I know what this is? Is this like what they gave John Cena to have a He-Man shield? Let me know where you've seen this shield before. It might be fun one day to go through the full collection and see which parts were used before, and how and where they used. Did they use this part, this boot topper? They use it anywhere else? Did I talk about how Thundercats now you can remove the bottom feet? I think I did mention that. That's really cool. Let's quickly look at the comic books. Let's see if there's any other schematic drawings. Let's flip through. I love the artwork. These are international comics, so we do get the story written out there in some of my it's U.S. comics. Some of my international comics, they take out the text so that they can be distributed throughout many markets. This is the Extendar comic book. I don't think I showed them. I don't think I held them still quiet enough to do it. These are really horde oriented, which is really, why are they so horde oriented? They didn't come out the year of the horde. All right, and let's check out Geldor's Plague of the Immortal. He really is definitive. Does he have a schematic drawing? No schematic drawing for 2024. For some reason, they took it out for a bit. I don't know what's the story behind that, but let's check out this comic book. Is that the White Sorceress? Can I put this out? Can I manifest a non-flocked Mossman, please? I mean, the turtle one is cool, it's translucent, and it's kind of my wish come true, but I would like an official Origins unflocked Mossman, or I might have to buy another one and rub off all the flocking so I have one that I can keep in my collection, because I cannot put a flocked figure in with the regular ones. So this was fun. I do feel like I've kind of caught up on stuff, because these are, I think, the only like standard Origins that I was behind in. Now I got some Snake Men, I got some other weird things to open, and I might have to make sure that I do every Monday and Tuesday Masters of the Universe, even though they're destroying my channel. You guys only want to see Mr. Potato Head videos, which, I mean, I understand. Mr. Potato Head is awesome. Okay, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until then.